Good morning, everybody. Let us talk about the first two presidents, George Washington and John Adams. Okay. Obviously, these are accurate historical photos of both because we do everything truthfully here. Albert Hall. All right. So we got a new government. Okay. We're coming off of the Articles of Confederation. All right, so Constitution creates a democratic republic. Now, what problems does Washington's government face? Okay, his presidency. Well, lack of money. Remember, Articles of Confederation, taxing was darn near impossible. So we got a lack of funds. Okay. No security. That was another thing, a federal militia, a federal army wasn't viable with the Articles of Confederation. Okay. And we're kind of like directionless. We just tried a government and it didn't work. So the three main problems: no money, no security, lack of direction. Okay, that's not an ideal situation. All right. The country is divided among Federalists and Anti-Federalists. Okay. So Federalists, we talked about this in class. Federalists, strong central government, okay, an economy off of manufacturing. And then Anti-Federalists, okay, wanted to make sure that the states retain power and more of an agrarian economy. So an economy based off of agriculture, off of farming, okay? Federalists mainly in the north, the New England area. Anti-Federalists mainly in the South. Now, one of the precedents that Washington creates is a cabinet. So, or advisors, okay? There's going to be four offices: Secretary of War, Secretary of Treasury, Secretary of State, and then Attorney General. Okay, so Secretary of War, in essence, is your policy advisor. Secretary of Treasury, your economic advisor. Secretary of State is the chief representative to other countries. All right. And the Attorney General would be your top legal expert. Okay. As we're going to see, it's going to be the Secretary of Treasury and Secretary of State that are going to be butting heads the most. Alexander Hamilton, a Federalist, and Thomas Jefferson, an Anti-Federalist. Okay. All right. Now, the big argument, okay, is going to be the Bank of the United States. So Federalists wanted to create a national bank. That would be a financial institution that all U.S. citizens could use. A financial institution that all citizens could use. And not just all citizens, but states and businesses, more importantly. Okay. Why does Hamilton want to create a national bank? Well, got to repay our war debts. We owe Great Britain money from prior to the war. We also had debts to, France and Spain for helping us out. So a national bank would allow us to take loans out against, ourselves in essence, and to pay off those debts. So why does Hamilton want to create a national bank? Well, Hamilton wants to pay off these loans for the Revolutionary War. All right. Is Bank of the United States anywhere in the U.S. Constitution? The answer is no. So in order to create the Bank of the United States, okay, you would need to have a loose interpretation of the Constitution, a loose interpretation, okay? A loose interpretation says, hey, if it doesn't specifically say you can't do it, you can do it. A loose interpretation is is just, if the Constitution doesn't specifically prevent it, then it's allowed. Whereas a strict interpretation would say, hey, look, you can do what the Constitution says. And that's it. Okay? Federalist, loose interpretation. Anti-federalist, strict interpretation. Okay? There is a compromise. Okay? The first capital is actually for the United States is actually New York City. Okay? And so anti-federalist, not a huge fan. That's pretty far north. So the compromise is, all right, we'll put it in Washington, D.C. We'll create a District of Columbia where the capital will be. So it's closer to the anti-federalists, all right? And you'll say, okay, fine, we can do the bank, all right? So the capital is going to start in New York. It's going to be in Philly while we're while they're creating the District of Columbia, building everything, okay? And then it's going to eventually settle in Washington, D.C., okay? So the compromise is you get to have the Bank of the United States, Hamilton, but the capital's got to come farther south, all right? So there we go. And that's all I got. Mr. Shank and Mr. Book have the rest. Enjoy.